Hi, everybody. We're really excited to chat with Cate Johannessen tonight.
Thanks for inviting me, Melissa and Kathy.
Yeah, we're delighted you're here, Cate.
So fill us in. How did this story begin? Where did this journey begin for you?
It began 14 years ago when I was working in a genetics lab, which was my first job out of college. And I had been there, I think, maybe 10 years and kind of wasn't satisfied, but didn't know what the next step was in my career path. And my sister-in-law surprised me when she was pregnant with her first child and asked me if I would be there to support her and her husband.
Is there a certifying body for doulas, or like how does one become a doula? You mentioned taking all of these different trainings, and so I'm just curious what that looks like.
There's several different organizations that train doulas. It's typically kind of, I think, anywhere from a 3 to a 4-day intensive workshop that's in person. I think that, with the pandemic, right, a lot of things went virtual. So I think when I studied 14 years ago, it was an in-person training. Then beyond that, some doulas will choose to certify through that organization.
For us in the Boston area, we just through patients have created a list of reputable people that they just had good experiences with them and we've connected with them. So that's kind of how we've created our list.
Yeah.
Because it's so important to find someone that meshes with your personality, that you trust.
But I do think that it is really meaningful to ask someone, and so this is, from a provider standpoint, but maybe if a client was asking about doulas or how do I find a doula, I think about great things is asking friends, asking who has had in your network who has given birth recently. Did you work with a doula? Who did you work with? Asking your OBGYN, your midwife. They may have a list, just like you have a list, Melissa.
Yeah.
And you can also, I think, log into a lot of online parent groups. So
I want to hear, Cate, a little bit. So I imagine that it would be a little bit stressful to get into this work and be it like your first birth as a doula. How would you recommend someone that is looking to maybe get certified and do some of this work? What would you recommend that they have a mentor? I know for you, you were with your sister-in-law, so maybe it wasn't as stressful, but I kind of also want to hear about your first birth and what that experience was like.
I jokingly say it's often the only guarantee you have in labor is that your doula will be the one that shows up, because there's so many unknowns along the way of other providers, of nurses who will be available along the way. So it is a really unique role that doulas play, having that continuity of care, ways that they can engage their family or their partners to help get a nap during the day, or how to swaddle the baby so the baby doesn't get their arms out of their swaddle blanket. And so I think it's a mix.
That's a science, the swaddle.
They're strong. They're strong.
Oh my gosh, in the hospital they swaddle the babies so perfectly and it's just a mess when you get home. So nice to have some support on that one.
Yeah.
So Cate, along those lines, can you share with us how it is that you started your organization?
Every Mother Project really saw a need in kind of helping our whole community to help support families and whatever our role is, that we all have the tools. We can all learn the tools to feel more confident around giving resources and helping families.
Okay, another question, because I think this is really helpful for providers to know the difference between like an IBCLC, like what is that, and like a lactation counselor.
And I would say we, lactation counselors, lactation educators, we do most of the normal stuff. So we help with a painful latch, we help with low milk supply, we help with positioning, with babies who are refusing to take bottles, how to pump, how to fit the pump in the right way. And she was her doula, right? We didn't call them doulas, but I think there's been a long history of someone in your neighborhood and your family who came with experience, and came with the wisdom to say, you're strong, you're capable, you know how to do this. I'm going to help you when you are doubting yourself, or you are scared, or you are worried. I found it challenging too to teach childbirth classes and then be on call for births. And how did you know if you were going to show up for class? And so you do have to do it in network. I think just the way you guys are creating community with nurse practitioners, and that community, I think doulas need community. You need another doula to call on when you need backup. I'm looking forward to meeting more of the nurse practitioners, and I really love what you guys are doing for performing pelvic health care. So I've learned a lot from you guys too. So I'm thankful. It's mutual.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.